your inexpensive supplement reversing age. By age 40, women have already lost more than 10% of their muscle mass. And by 60, that number skyrockets to 30%. Here's the graph we're interested in. Check it out. On the bottom is age in years, and on the left side is muscle loss since age 30. But I want you to pay attention to right here, 65. Look at the age right there in the bottom, and you can see how much muscle loss is gone. This is exactly what we're addressing today. The implications for your face and body are huge, colossal. And here's the shocking part. Most women don't even realize it's happening. Your doctor doesn't tell you this until it's too late. Weakness, sagging skin, slowed metabolism. It's all linked to muscle loss. But over my many years in practice, I found a simple, inexpensive supplement that works every time to stop the decline. It's very consistent, one that many women are missing out on. It's like secretly loving reality TV. No one talks about it, but everyone is on it. In this case, Hollywood, but likely not you, not today. Let's talk exactly how to take it, the dose, the timing, and one most important element that you need to know to inexpensively get the most benefits. Let's talk about creatine. It's inexpensive. Now, I bet you've heard of it, right? But are you on it? And I bet you this. I bet you were told it's not simple. Well, it is. I'll dispel today because it's as misunderstood as a cat brought to a dog park. Totally at a place and a little terrified. In this case, terrified because of the myths. Your time's valuable, so here we go. Women especially, listen up today. Women only have 10% of creatine as men do. Women have the most to gain here, yet most men are on this. If there's a man in your house, look around. Likely there is creatine somewhere, and you can take the same one if it is the exact one I'll tell you about. Yes, you did hear me right. Women have 90% less creatine than men, and vegans much, much less, because creatine is naturally found where? In meat and fish. But this is where the magic happens. There's something even more pivotal. You see, women's creatine levels change throughout the menstrual cycle. Nobody even talks about that. I don't hear anyone talk about that. But yes, estrogen influences creatine and creatine kinase levels. So you may already have made the connection here. Have you? Think about this. Who benefits the most? Yes, you got it. I'm proud of you. Postmenopausal and perimenopausal women, 40 and up, hugely so. And nobody tells them. But first, we need to bust the biggest myths I know you believe are true. Here's a huge one. No, you don't need to look like this if you take creatine. Quite the opposite. If you don't take it, you actually risk looking like this. It's called sarcopenic. Sarcopenia. Have you heard of it? More on that in a moment, but I bet for many of you, your doctor believes the myths I'm about to tell you are true as well. Erroneously so. And at whose expense? Yours. So if you believe creatine is only for men, your assumption couldn't be further from the truth. That's like thinking diet soda cancels out a double cheeseburger. It's crazy. So ponder this. We lose muscle as we age. You're losing muscle now, something called sarcopenia. If we gain that muscle back, we look what? Well, younger. From the increased volume, you're going to say, yeah, okay, you know fat and bone are important in the face and on the body to look younger, a certain level of fat. But the truth is, you also gain our what back? Hormones, because muscle helps produce your hormones. Now, right about now, you're asking the natural question. Why on earth would you ever slow muscle down and shrink it with Botox? That's what people do. They reduce muscle movement in their face by injecting Botox to look younger, to stop dynamic wrinkles. But now you know why when people over Botox the face, they lose too much muscle, they look what? Older. And so the same thing happens on the body in that natural process of sarcopenia. And you now also know why the face exercisers, sometimes they do look younger by exercising the muscles and building strength in the face. I, of course, like gua sha better, but that video is for another day. And right now, I have a free course on gua sha. Some of you have taken it, but I'll link it in the comments. I'll pin it to the top. So if you want to take that, again, it's free. You don't have to buy a thing. And yes, you might be saying, well, that's just the face, but you know, people are doing Botox in the body, trap-tox or Barbie Botox up here, the trapezius muscle. And of course, many people use it in the calf area to shrink enlarged, or what they feel is enlarged calves. Connect the dots. We want muscle. Speaking of sarcopenia, we also need to touch on sarcopenic obesity. That's the loss of muscle, but the gain of weight. Not good. Some of you may be sitting there noticing exactly that. Loss of muscle, but gaining of fatty weight. And that's doubly aging. Loss of muscle, gain of weight. Not what we strive for. So think creatine. It's especially good for that problem. Myth number 1, it's a steroid. Many of you might think it's a steroid. Remember Ben Johnson? I'm Canadian, of course. I remember he actually won the gold, but got it taken away because he tested positive for steroids. Well, creatine is not, but it's a classic myth. It's not an anabolic steroid. Steroids are synthetic versions of testosterone. Creatine, on the other hand, is a natural substance found in your body. It's there right now. And it's also found in foods like meat and fish. So no, it's not going to give you Hulk-like muscles or lead to disqualification from competition. This myth is about as real as a Hollywood actress's quote-unquote natural lips. They're not. In my opinion, creatine is the #1 supplement Hollywood, in fact, is gatekeeping. Many of you think it's Ozempic, and maybe it was, but actually most of them are on creatine. They're just not telling. And all of my concierge patients, they're all on creatine. I put them all on it. But unlike lip filler, it's not synthetic. It's naturally occurring. It's in your body right now, in your muscles. And also smaller amounts will be found in the brain, liver, and kidneys. In fact, what does your brain use a lot of? Energy. Correct. ATP. That's what creatine boosts. It helps convert ADP to ATP, just like your red light mask does, your LED face mask. And the good news here, creatine supplementation has been shown to boost brain creatine also. Thus, many studies are now focusing on this supplement for boosting brain performance. And to be frank, it looks very promising from all the data I'm reading. Okay, let me flip the script for a second. Here's the graph you need to study. Your natural muscle mass over time. If you do nothing about it, you see where it goes. Down. Here's something astonishing. Your body synthesizes or makes and uses its entire weight in ATP every day. You're losing energy faster than an ice cream cone on a summer sidewalk. But creatine helps replenish those ATP stores, and that allows your muscles and your brain to function like high-performance machines. That's what I want for you. Brain fog and memory lapses are associated with, we talked about what? Menopause and perimenopause. Yes, so you got it. It's highly correlated with menopause. The brain lapses and memory and mood changes. So remember what I said. This is an important video for women. Now you see. Myth number 2. People think it's only for men. Contrary to popular belief, creatine isn't just for men. Studies show that women who take creatine experience similar benefits. Enhanced strength, increased energy, and improved recovery. And I think in my patients, that's the one I see the most. They recover quicker. That allows you to maintain and keep going. Who doesn't want to recover better and sleep better? Whether you're lifting weights or just navigating daily life, every woman can benefit from an extra energy boost. I will say there's no doubt those who do best exercise with it. And yes, you're going to ask, what about walking? I walk. I know 90% of you walk. It counts. But lifting weight builds more muscle and more youth, more bone, more hormones. Myth number 3, it causes kidney damage. And I think this is the top reason a lot of men don't take it. Here's where the fear-mongering began. A single case in 1998 blamed creatine for kidney failure. However, that individual actually had pre-existing kidney conditions and was consuming massive doses of creatine. That's why it made headlines. decades of research since, however, and there's at least 5 studies I looked at for this video, have demonstrated that creatine is safe for healthy kidneys. The other reason that this has been associated with kidney dysfunction is that creatinine is something we measure in your blood. BUN and creatinine is something we measure regularly to look at people's kidney function. Supplementation boosts the creatinine level that's measured for kidney function. But this isn't a sign of kidney dysfunction. It's a sign that you're on creatine. And when you come off taking the creatine, that blood level comes down. So it's not kidney damage, it's that you're taking it in. Nonetheless, I think if you have kidney disease, of course, always consult your doc. Now, before we proceed, I know the number one question that's on your guys' mind, because you're on this channel, does creatine actually directly make you look younger? And by the way, if you're liking this information, like and subscribe. There's nothing to buy here. I'm giving you information, so please hit the like button and subscribe and share this with your friends, especially your women friends. Now, I did talk about face volume, but your skin relies on the same ATP energy that creatine helps boost in your muscles. That's why, and what red light does in your mask. It's why many of you are on red light therapy, use panels. Many of you have my red light mask, which has red and near infrared. That's what that mask does. That's one of the main mechanisms of action, is increase your ATP, or the energy for your fibroblasts. And of course, they produce your collagen and elastin that gives you bounce. A study published in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology found that a cream, this was in a cream form enriched with folic acid and creatine, significantly improves skin firmness in mature skin. Now today we're talking systemic, taking it systemically by ingesting it, which I'll go through details in a moment. But you see, this gives us a window into what it can do for your skin. Remember, I see real patients in real life. I put them on this supplement. I can tell you, women on creatine, especially combining it with red light, and especially those exercising too, well, they look way younger. It's just fact. I see it. I'm not a YouTuber just looking through the studies and giving you information. This is what I do. Now, myth number 4, and I think this is worth noting because this is a reason why some people come off of it, is water retention. And it's a myth long-term, but it's partially true. Creatine will cause some water retention in many people initially. But here's the twist. That water goes into your muscles, not under your skin. So if anything, you'll appear more toned and not bloated. A face with a tad of volume looks younger. You guys know that. That's why many people take my Volufiline cream because they want that little tiny bit of volume in their face. It takes up some of those wrinkles. And it's why thinner people especially, they like a little extra weight sometimes on their body to plump their face, especially after 40 or 50 because they're losing some bone. The good news here is this extra water that you get from creatine, it usually goes by week 2 or 3. I usually, if I'm off it for a while, I go back on, I gain about 3 pounds and I'm normally 175, 178. I liken that weight gain that you get initially a little bit like biting into an oatmeal cookie when you expect chocolate chip cookie. It's a little disappointing at first, but not the end of the world. Myth number 5, it causes baldness. And especially women, when they hear this, because they don't like it, they don't take it. It's because they start losing some hair at their hairline, and hair thins as estrogen goes down, exactly when they need creatine. Creatine has never been shown to be directly related to losing hair or baldness. People measure DHT, and that's a hormone linked to testosterone and hair loss. While there was some scant evidence initially that creatine may slightly increase DHT, it's now disproven. It was from one study of rugby players. It was a small study, it was like 18 or 22 people or so, and it increased DHT levels a little bit. But it was within the variance. It wasn't a lot, and it was a small study. But that study's never been replicated again. So, and I've never seen in clinical practice hair loss from creatine. Myth number 6, it only works in the youth. And one of the most common questions you guys ask me in the comments is, but doc, does it work for a 70-year-old? Does it work for a 60-year-old? Like things like PRF, things like Sculptor, biostimulators, even skin creams that I might have. Does it work for a 70-year-old? Nothing magical happens as a 70-year-old. And in fact, you need it more at 70 than at 30. So yeah, It does work in a 7-year-old, but of course, everything takes a little more work the more we age. Don't I know that? Now, let me take you into exactly what you should buy. Here's the juice. You want to look for creatine monohydrate. That's the most researched and effective form, the only one I want you to take. So that's creatine monohydrate. Now, dosing. This can get a little tricky. I don't load it. So that means you take more in the first week. 20 grams a day in the first week would be a loading dose, and then 3 to 5 grams per day thereafter. I don't do that, and there's a couple reasons. I just say, hey, start with 3 to 5 grams a day, and that's the dose for anyone. If you're really pushing yourself and you're working out, or you have an event, you're a triathlete, or you have a sporting event that you're doing, not one that you're going to see, but one that you're doing, you might want to increase your dose a little bit because it will help your recovery. The problem is people take too high of a dose and load it. They'll see a little bit of more water retention, or they'll get a little upset stomach. So if you get a little upset stomach from it, you want to microdose it, and then it doesn't bother your stomach. Also take it with food if it bothers your stomach. Now, as an important aside here, where is the most of the muscle on your body? It's in your legs. It's why walking is a staple exercise. But now you might want to know the top 3 best exercises for women to build bone and look younger. You want to watch this video right here. Keep your skin and body beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.